Nico Miko. Thank you for being here. And good evening, all of my lovely Justice Warriors. Um, my camera is a little bit off. Let's see, just ever so slightly. There's that better. I'm gonna put my feet up, going to relax. I'm gonna straighten out my shirt because that's one thing that drives me freaking nuts. I think everything's under control, and then the height of the camera. Anyway, my problems, you know how I am. I don't like to burden my viewers with my problems. And if that's my biggest problem that I have today, I'm super lucky. So, let's start out the way we always do. Please hit your like button if you'd be so kind. Set that over here. Share, subscribe, ring your notification bell if you like to be notified. Um, Let's see. All of my videos are made for YouTube. It's an entertainment platform, and I'm very distracted by this. Sorry. Um, let's see. Where was I? Everything I say is simply my opinion. It's simply for the sake of conversation, hoping to open up a discussion and to be educational and to learn something. And I see that my mod was in here saying justice on her way, and somebody's sending up some hearts, and that's really cute. Thank you. Um, I don't know. Can I do that? Can I send up hearts? Let's see. Add reaction. I don't know. Oh no, I can only make like an emoji. I'll go ahead and do I'll do some flowers, right? Let's do some nature. Let's see. Or maybe some pets. We'll just do some cute little animals. There we go. So, what are you guys doing tonight? How is everybody? Who's here? Who's not here? Um, Dan Lindberg, nice to see you. Um, and yeah, it is Friday night, isn't it? This week has been so messed up with the 4th of July and then with having today off from work, which was nice. I was able to get a bunch of stuff done that I needed to get done and just chill out, chillax. Um, but yeah, quite a week. Quite a week. I told you guys about the incident that happened on the 4th of July. So that was just devastating. Absolutely devastating. Don't need to go into it. It's really, really sad. Yeah. I'm just gonna leave it. Sorry, I don't mean to like pique anyone's curiosity. If you're curious, watch the live from last night. I think it's just like an hour and 13 minutes, and I kind of talk about it a little bit. It's just not something I want to talk about. Um, it was difficult. It was extremely difficult. So, where are we at? Let's see. You guys saw my silly post about Dylan that I mentioned yesterday, the one that Harsh did, and I took a screenshot out of his video. And, it's just like that whole 8 hour thing. Don't ask me. I was frozen for like 8 hours. I fell into a well, and it took Lassie 8 hours to find Timmy. That whole thing is so crazy. Sorry if I'm being repetitive, but it's so freaking crazy. Like, why do we even have to talk about that? And let me be really specific too with how on earth do we have an eyewitness saying that she saw a dude with bushy eyebrows up close and then have the police chief say they're not witnesses? I never said they were witnesses. I only said they were there. But wait, the lead detective is using an eyewitness account in the PCA as like one of the main cornerstones of identifying this person that they arrested. Um, I was talking about this case a little bit to somebody who knew nothing about it, and she's very, very well educated. She was high security clearance for the government, and she was just like, "Oh, so they released him then, right?" Seriously, absolutely seriously. Hey, Annie Ruler. Hola, ¿cómo estás? Muy bien. ¿Y tú? I used to speak a lot of Spanish. So let's see, where are we at? There were a couple of things. Did you guys see Drip Drop's new drop from today? He hit it out of the ballpark again. I almost just want to do a reaction to that video. So anybody who saw it, let me know so that we can talk about it. Um, he played a clip of uh, the police captain of the Moscow PD, Roger Lanier, who does look an awful a lot like the police chief. He called him a doppelganger, and I think that's pretty accurate. Um, and it was the clip that he played was about Roger Lanier saying, "Well, we're sorting through the 22,000 Elantras." And all of a sudden I thought, why? Where'd they get that number? 22,000 Elantras. And that number is just like 1122. And I know this whole numerology thing is ridiculous, but it's ridiculous. I mean, think about the Idaho 4. We have 4 a.m. We have 8 hours. We have another 4 hours. 22, 4. Like, what in the world? Like, these people are freaking nuts. Um, so I think it was in his, no, it wasn't in his video. It was in a different video that I watched. And somebody that went to high school with the criminal defendant said that in high school, Brian Koberger had scored higher on a standardized test than anyone in the state. And I haven't done my cross referencing to look at that, but that's what somebody who knew him in high school said. So even if it's not completely accurate, you get the idea that this guy is crazy smart. Like maybe somebody who could score a perfect 1600 on the SAT. I know there's a couple of people like that in the world, but very, very, very few. Um, Everything about this case is very ridiculous. Yes, absolutely. I'm going to highlight you, Nico, because that's the truth right there. That's pretty much all there is. And hey, Jazz King. Hey there. Finally made one. LOL. Awesome. So yeah. Um, I think it was something in Drip Drop's video that made me think of this. I can't remember for sure. I was going to watch it a second time because it was so good, but I can't remember if he said something about it or if it just he kind of propelled my thought process forward. What if the house, the 1122, had been bombed with some type of smoke bomb that made everybody pass out? What if? What if? Whether it was lethal and then they did the other stuff, or it just made them unconscious and then they did the other stuff. Early on in this case, I wondered, once we found out that people weren't asleep when it happened, I wondered if people got roofied, even in their own home, if like they were physically made to ingest the substance that made them then pass out, like when, like the Spanish fly type of substance. Um, Annie Ruler says, in my opinion, Fry is pretending it is normal to clear them without saying Dylan's mom is influential. Right. She works for the university and is possible B family with U of I. Bethany's dad is a dentist in Reno. So I thought of something with that too. A lot of money needs laundering, and that's usually where people get busted with this type of, let's just say, crime ring. So what if many businesses in Moscow, Reno, Truckee, these places like the Lost Trail Lodge, bringing the Kylie Rodney case back because we always want to bring the Kylie Rodney case back. Seriously. What if these businesses are all laundering money for the company? And, even a butcher shop could be, a meat and locker butcher shop could be a money laundering joint. Um, you know, the only reason I can think of that they would change the name of that place 6 times in about that many years is for tax evasion. I don't know if you guys have other thoughts on that, but that's my only thing that I've ever really it's popped into my mind. Anyway, let me read that again because I didn't finish your sentence, Annie. I drive myself nuts when I do that. Sorry. Fry is pretending it is normal to clear them without saying Dylan's mom is influential, as is possible Bethany's family, University of Idaho. This was only red flag, as well as lying about Payne's age. Is that what you were going to say? Because you just said lying about Payne's. Um, and Juniper Rob says, let me highlight that. That's a good comment. But I would like to know the end of that thought too, Annie Ruler, if you cared to finish that sentence. I think you might have left a word or something off. Kopaka friend DD is very suspect. Yes, let's get into the DD. For anybody who hasn't watched Drip Drop's video from earlier today, it's all about this guy with those initials, like Drip Drop, who posted a whole bunch of pictures of himself with Kopaka. Um, I wouldn't put any credence in this guy. Yeah, again, I'm going to say watch that video because Drip Drop does a lot of good analyzation of the whole thing with this DD dude. I forget what his name is. It was weird. If somebody wants to type it in, it's very weird. His handle. I mean, I'm sure it's not his real name. Hello, Katie Van and Nico. One of your trusty subscribers once said something very similar about the gassing theory. Do you remember who, Nico? Because I would love to kick them some credit. And yeah, it's like, my brain is so overloaded. And then, especially like I've said this week, I was so out of sorts. I literally felt like throwing up for like 3 days straight. It's only started to go away today. Um, yes, Page age. Sorry. How many years of college? The funk name is big in Idaho. BK went in parking lot of Funk Auto, maybe to use dumpster. Interesting. Is it an auto shop called Funk? I know I've heard the name with other people. Isn't the guy who's the coroner at St. Marie's Hospital, isn't his last name Funk too? He's really young to be a coroner. It's pretty weird. But these are small towns. Um, Katie Van says, "What?" Um, so are you saying what about the gassing theory? Because um, like I said, I would love to kick that person credit. My brain just gets so fogged up and it all just kind of melts together. And like I said, especially right now with the last 3 days, I did get to go swimming this morning, and that really helps me calm down and kind of organize my thoughts. So hopefully I'll be able to keep doing that over the weekend. Wait, detailing shop, Funk's Detail. Thank you, Annie Ruler. The wrestler Terry Funk. I have not heard of Terry Funk, the wrestler, Myron, and hello. Um, Funk's auto was purportedly, allegedly debunked as being related to BF. Good to know. Thank you, Nico. If you want to say how you know that. I have an issue with this whole debunking thing because I just think the word is stupid. And if you want to prove somebody's information wrong, just say the information's wrong. So I'm not picking on you, Nico. I'm just saying that to me that's just one of my peeves. I'll be honest with you guys. I have another peeve that might make you guys laugh out loud. LOL. I hate the LOL. And I've maybe used it like once in my life, maybe twice. And when I used it, it was like really sarcastic because it's so overplayed. Just like debunking is so overplayed. And you can debunk somebody's debunking. So it's just silliness to me. Okay. Um Darren Duncan, that's the guy's name. I have it here in my phone. So that was Brent Kopaka's buddy, allegedly. Darren Duncan has all these posts on, I think it's Facebook, and then an account from MySpace. That's like a million years ago, huh? Um, so Darren Duncan seemed to have ended up in a Christmas tree ornament. Did you guys see his video? He says that's Drip Drop. I am totally giving him credit for that. I did not come up with that on my own. He says something like somehow Brent Kopaka and his buddy Darren Duncan seem to have ended up in a Christmas tree ornament. And it's just like a visual thing that he has at the end of his, towards the end of his video. And I just thought that was like the cutest freaking thing in the world. Ended up in a Christmas tree ornament. Whereas we did have Kylie Rodney end up in a Christmas tree ornament. I think it was Patty Cakes who made those beautiful ornaments that a bunch of us content creators were lucky enough to have it sent to us. And I think that Nico was going to maybe be making more of those Christmas tree ornaments to distribute. I mean, it's nothing that anybody would want to profit off of, but just to sell to like cover costs, cover shipping. Shipping's so expensive. But those beautiful Christmas tree ornaments that Patty Cakes came up with. And I had already asked her if that was okay because it was one of my mods, I think it was you, Nico, that wanted to do that. And Patty Cakes said, absolutely, go for it. Um, let's see, catching up. Annie Ruler. Nico, yes, debunked things like Killer NPA was dumb sounding. Oh my goodness, that whole thing with dragging Koberger's parents into that um uh grand court thing. What do you call that? Brain dead. That's what you call that. Grand jury. Thank you, brain. Thank you for working, brain. It's so nice when you do. Anyway, the grand jury and having Mr. and Mrs. Koberger speak to the grand jury about that one woman who was red rummed. And, all these people that want to paint Koberger in this Joker type of light where he's like a serial killer. And look at me, I've got a couple of props. I don't like using props because I think they're stupid, but I got these giant cards that I found. And the Joker, you know, Koberger looks a lot like a Joker in a lot of his photographs. And I don't say that to be mean or rude or critical. I'm just saying, like, I actually think that those pictures are chosen and then touched up. Um, but we've got the kings, the queens, the jacks. This case is crazy with all that stuff. So we got the jack of hearts. I got the queen of hearts. All these queens in that house, you guys, 5 of them. And who's the freaking kings there on King Street? Is Jack D a king? I don't know. He's a jack. And who's a freaking ace? I know who I think is an ace, but um we won't go there. Anyway, my peeve too, but someone truly went to hell and back to disprove it, probably because there actually is something to see there. Um, huh. Yeah, exactly. When something is being proven wrong, like I said, debunking can be debunked as well. Darren Duncan is obviously a fake name. If we can find any linked accounts, we might be able to get his real name or an address for him that can be searched. And, I mean, I'm not interested in that myself, but I know that um, the other DD Drip Drop was talking about that, and that when you put yourself in the public arena, you're in the public arena, like you've already doxed yourself. So, um, yeah, the grand jury. Thanks, Nico. I'm like behind you guys. Nico, yes, we were given disinformation intentionally sometimes, I feel, and harass creators when they get too close. This might sound whack, you guys, but how many of you have wondered if maybe that Joseph Morris, who, I'm not defending him by any stretch, but if he was really thrown under the bus and kind of used as a scapegoat? How many of you think, if you think that that might be a thing, that Joseph Morris was used as a scapegoat, please put a 1 in the chat. I just want to know if anyone else thinks like that too. Um, get an idea for that. Let's see. Annie Ruler, I agree. Maybe gassing allowed tarps to be put down, also then rolled up and taken to the meat lock for disposal. Oh my goodness, Dan. That's crazy. I'm gonna highlight that. So you guys, you know what I saw in mainstream news today? Harvard University is being investigated for trafficking body parts with their medical school. For real. Harvard. Unbelievable. Um, I mean, it's a thing. It's absolutely a thing. It's not just isolated there at all. My question is, why did he put himself out front? Well, a lot of people just want attention, and so they'll do stuff like that just to get attention. So, D Smalls says one, Myron says one, Annie Ruler says, we have never been told about the tarps except by an alias, allegedly BK, said we would find the tarps easier than the weapons. Was that the Papa Roger account that said that, Annie? I remember that. It's, when you're getting gaslit like we all are with this case, it's so hard to track it. Excuse me while I drink my watermelon cucumber juice from Trader Joe's. It's really good. It's called Watermelon Cucumber Cooler. I recommend it if you guys have a Trader Joe's near you. I think it was Papa Roger. Yeah, that sounds like a Papa Roger thing. So Papa Roger was the one that said, I think they found a knife sheath, and we thought that whoever Papa Roger was probably somebody that was there who knew something about a knife sheath. That was way before the knife sheath was mentioned in the probable cause affidavit that we didn't see or hear about until after the arrest. So I think it was like mid-December that Papa Roger first posted about that. And it's my opinion that that Papa Roger account is somebody who's trying to pose as Koberger. That's my opinion. At first I got duped and thought, "Oh my god, it's him," right? Like, it looks so much like him. It took me a long time to think, "Wait a second. No one's gonna be that stupid and make, like, a picture of themselves as the freaking profile." And remember that whole thing with, the one 1972, was it Josco 1972 with the cell phone recording himself talking in that low voice, and you just see the black screen and his face is like blocked by his cell phone. That was freaking annoying. Really annoying. So, the person that made that video was trying to make us think that they were the unaliver, and that I think they were trying to make it look like it was Koberger that did that. Um, so let's go back to this thing about Koberger scoring so extremely, incredibly high on some standardized test in high school. That's the type of thing that makes people really jealous, especially people that are competitive, people that want the attention. They want to be the best. They want to be Superman. They want to be the brains. Um, I could really see the police being annoyed by this guy and throwing him under the bus with this case. We still don't know who was hired for the fellowship position at Pullman PD, the one that Koberger interviewed for last April 12th of 2022. That's never been released. You would think that the person that was hired might have stepped forward, or somebody would have leaked the information. Seriously. Seriously. We've been never told about the tarps, right? That's a really good comment. Absolutely. Annie Ruler, you rule. And PR also asked, uh, Tonka says there are three people that are adamant about what allegedly went down, and they're all telling the same story. Really? Who are those three people? Can you say? I feel like Payne, or similarly positioned to evidence, knew who was being set up and opened account. I agree, Annie Ruler. I 100% agree that somebody in a position like him, if not him, three people, Papa Roger, Clay Jones, and one other, I can't remember what their names are. The one other, is it that Justin, that weird character Justin? And I have no idea who Clay Jones is. What have I missed? What have I missed? Can anybody fill me in on who Clay Jones is? If I've heard that name, it's only been like once. And no, it wasn't Justin. Okay. So Papa Roger, there's the Brent Kopaka account with the I see you too with the EYESEA. And that I think is suspicious. Um, So where are we at? We're just at about 25 minutes. So I was going to just do a short one tonight, you guys. I'm so happy. Thank you for joining me. I really appreciate you guys. Nobody picked that picture out of blue, then looked just like BK. I wonder if it was Justin, but did not think he had access to BK PR. And remember, Justin's real name is very similar to Papa Roger, like all the letters and stuff. I can't remember what his real name is. Clay Jones is all over. A lot of creators are blocking him. Oh, he's just like a commenter or something. He was on Thou Shalt Not Kill. Yeah, there's a ton of brand new channels popping up, you guys. And I know when I was a brand new channel that popped up back in September of last year, 2022, I remember hearing people talk about, like, in general, they weren't trusting all these new channels. And I was one of them. And I'm like, yeah, I wouldn't trust me either. You got to give everybody kind of the test of time. But I've really wondered about all these brand new channels popping up with this Idaho case. I mean, this case is so bizarre, and it's taken up months of coverage from people like me that are just like annoyed as all get out. And in everyone's chats, apparently he's sending emails to certain creators. Well, good thing I haven't gotten any that I know of anyway. I mean, I have a lot of trouble keeping up with my email. I saw Harsh today said he had like 800 emails, I think, in one day, or maybe just in general. I hope it couldn't have been in one day, but I mean, who knows? He's got um over 60,000 subs now. And yeah, Drip Drop jumped from 100,000 a couple of months ago to a quarter of a million now. That is wild. Wild and crazy. Thanks for the live. Yes, Justin's screen looked like he ran PR account, the Papa Roger account. Um, is he that close to law enforcement? For name picture of BK. I had the weirdest thought today, you guys. Should I be brave and share it? One sec. I don't think I've ever thought of this, and I don't think I've ever heard anybody say it, but I'll say it, and it's freaking crazy. What if BK, the criminal defendant, was working with the Pullman PD? What, and I know other people have talked about, like, what if this was like a drug task force setup, like a big bust? What if it was something like that? What if they had, they being law enforcement, had employed the criminal defendant to be the one to plant the sheath, not knowing that they put a little bit of his DNA on the button snap? I mean, whoever put that there wiped it down. So I don't think it was dropped. I don't think it was dropped. I think it was put there because it was wiped down and wiped down well. So although, the in the button sheet or in the button snap, that DNA could be there intentionally, it could be there unintentionally, but what if it was actually Koberger who planted it? And that's why he's kind of like, holy crap. I know I'll get exonerated, but it's going to be a long road. And that's what him and Ann Taylor are working on. What if he was the one who planted it, not knowing that they planted his freaking DNA in there? What? Have you guys thought of that? Have you heard anybody think of that? I've never thought of that. And granted, I don't watch everybody's channel. I try, but it's not possible. Let's see. Um, and Nico saying, I think he was. You have the best backdrop ever. I love it. Well, thank you. I love it too. And, I especially love this thingamabob. And if I'm gonna get my full like A to Z, you guys see my little letters? Those are like book, what do you call those things? Book holders. So there, I'll get a little bit more of that, but still have the A to Z showing because that's important, just like my justice. So there, we got justice A to Z. Is that so cute? And then I got my tranquility, share, subscribe, ring your notification bell. Is that so goofy that I made that? That's my idea of being high tech. Let's see. Thanks. I got all excited about my backdrop. I studied feng shui for a while, so I'm kind of nerdy like that. And yeah, feng shui is all about energy, it's all about placement, it's all about intention, it's all about lights and colors and actually mirrors. Mirrors are really big. I don't think I have any mirrors in my set, but this is just basically one big mirror, really. So I am all feng shuied, and I hope that it is therapeutic for you guys. Because yeah, art therapy is my background, so this is my art therapy. This is my art therapy. You guys are my art therapy. Thank you for being my counselors. Let's see, where are we at? I'm going to try to finish up and say goodnight to you guys because it is getting late. It's already almost 11. It's way past my bedtime. I was thinking Brian was working in the labs and he would have had to have submitted a sample for employment with law enforcement. Um, he would have had to be fingerprinted for law enforcement for sure. Um, I don't think they would do a DNA submission, but they would have his DNA if he was hanging out there and doing stuff. Um, Darren Duncan's new profile picture has him and Drip. Are you serious, Kimberly? That's the best. Oh my goodness. That is hilarious. And Drip Drop asked him to call him and have a little chat. So hopefully he will. Good thought, Dan says. Well, thank you. I wish my friend Juniper Rob, when you get 5,000 subscribers, YouTube gives you a neon sign. Is that true? A neon sign that says share, subscribe, ring your notification bell, or just a neon sign that says like YouTube or something like that? But that's exciting because I'm getting close. I'm getting closer every day. If he were working in the labs, they would have to put him on there. Yes, good point. Super good point. Absolutely. My brain is just so fogged from the other day. And let me share this thought because this is something I know from being a mental health professional. When you have a very, very traumatic incident where you dump adrenaline, it takes your body about a month to get your equilibrium back, to get your body chemistry back to where it was. So, I know that. And so I'm glad that I know that because for these last 3 days, feeling like I'm going to throw up, I understand, okay, I still got about 27 more days to go until I'm back 100% me. But I feel a lot more like me than I did yesterday, and a heck of a lot more like me than I did. Um, it was on the 4th of July. It was before the fireworks. It was after I did my videos. I did 3 videos that day. I did just a regular video. I think it was the one with the two, no, not the two pains. It was a different one. Maybe it was the two pains. No, I think it was before that. Anyway, the 4th of July was the day that I did those 2 music videos. So it would be the video right before those 2 music videos. but I didn't post them like regular videos. So sorry, I'm like talking in circles. This is how my brain has been for the last few days. So my point is that after I posted my regular video and my two music videos is when this horrible fatality happened. And um and then it was fireworks and later, a little bit later, a couple hours later. Um and I've seen things go down and it's not fun, but this was like the worst thing I'd ever seen in my life, honestly. Um and it took me until today to realize that yeah, that was definitely the worst experience I've ever had by far. By far. Can you guys hear the dog scratching at the door? I'll get them in just a second. Anyway, so yeah, my brain has just been kind of mush. I'm surprised I've been able to make any videos at all, really. But like I said, it's therapeutic for me. And the swimming is therapeutic, and just being with my pets and my family and, eating well, my routine. Eat well and exercise and try to stay chill, try to not stress about things. Um, let's see. Says what you want. Titanium built selected hers with followers. Oh, neat. So the neon sign, that's cool. Because yeah, I've seen a couple of those neon signs. So it says whatever you want. Oh, that's so exciting. Titanium built selected hers with followers. Oh, so she had her subs help her figure out which one she wanted. And is it like anything you want, or do they just give you a few options? That's wild. Because yeah, I might like have like a Justice A to Z or something. I don't know. I like the crowdsourcing idea. That's way cool. Way cool, Annie. So, I highlighted this one. Did I highlight that one? If he were working in the labs, they would have to put him on their exclusionary list. So yeah, that makes perfect sense. And it's absolutely the truth. Absolutely. So, all right, you guys, let's wrap it up because brain is fried. It's Friday night. It's just a quarter till 11. Thank you so much for coming on to my live with me. I'm going to be lifeguarding over the weekend and I'm going to try to do videos both Saturday and Sunday. 44 watchers and only 2 likes. Oh, okay. And I'm not going to do any videos over the weekend. Screw you guys. Screw you guys. No, I'm just kidding. Come on, let's see those numbers fly up to 44 or close to it. That is too funny. I can't believe it. But you know what? I will be the first to admit that I am very lazy when it comes to hitting that like button. I'm as guilty as anybody, but when the content creators and the moderators keep reminding us viewers, I usually do hit it if I haven't already. But it usually takes me a while to be like, oh right, I haven't hit it either. Because the people that I like to watch, it's like I already am liking them in my mind. Why do I have to like them on my computer too? Come on. Yes, cursive, block letters, colors, etc. That is so sweet. Well, thank you for letting me know that because now I can like push for 5,000 and beg for new subs so that everybody can have their input and help me figure out what we want it to say. Um, there's 34. Oh, okay. Nico might need to refresh or something. That's so nice. Thank you for telling us 34 likes. And that makes me feel so much better. I was like, that's hilarious that there's so maybe you're hadn't refreshed in a little bit, Nico, or maybe there's something up with your computer. That's so funny. I like liking, so I do not rewatch. Oh, I used to do that too. I used to hit the like button just so I would know that I watched something. Because, yeah, it's annoying when you're watching something and you don't realize that you already watched it until you're like a little ways through. And then you're just like, man, am I that brain dead? Really? Me? And let me just tell you, one of the things I love about having my YouTube channel is I feel like it helps me stay sharper because I have to be able to think, I have to be able to finish sentences, have to be able to remember names, including my own, have to be able to remember lots of things. So, like highlighting the chat comments. Um, so yeah, there's so many things about having a YouTube channel that I love, but it's really about community. It's really about building this almost like fake friendships, right? Internet friendships. So, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I mean, that's what social media is. It's a social outlet, and it is a creative outlet when you're a content creator. You're being creative. So, um, it's just nice to have another outlet. And I'm all about expressing myself and encouraging other people to express themselves. If you have something to say it. I try to do that as much as possible. When I have crazy ideas that I'm like, oh, don't judge me. I try to just to put them out there anyway, even though I know that there will be people that judge me and make stupid comments. So let me just say this to anybody who is watching the video and hating it and annoyed by everything I say, and then they want to make some jerk off comment in my comment section after this live. Do yourself a favor and get a life, please. I'm sick and tired of having to pray for people like you to feel better about yourself. Like, why would you waste your time watching things that you hate? And especially, why would you waste your time commenting on things that you hate? Like, I guess hate is gonna hate, right? There you go. And okay, I'm expressing myself. You're messing me up with these lives past your bedtime. Sorry. I'm so disorganized, huh? Um, SM lets me not irritate my friends with my passion for true crime. You know what, Annie? Like, everybody is a true crime junkie. Most people just don't want to admit it out loud, but it has a lot less stigma. And yeah, a lot of people like it. And anybody who doesn't like it, when I tell them that the name of my channel and that it's all about justice, then they're like, oh, well, maybe I would like it then. They don't People who don't understand what true crime is think that it's just like horror movie crap. So, inside looking, yes, thank you for saying that, Carlotta. That's what I was trying to come up with, too, with the ICU2, the inside looking, the Josco 1972, and the Papa Roger. But yeah, there's back to the whole thing with the content creators. There's some content creators that I'm very suspicious of. And like I said, some of them are these newer channels. And I don't think that they're just regular, real people coming up with their channels for the right reasons. I think that they are maybe part of the propaganda. I know this was before my time on YouTube, but I know with the Watts case that there was all kinds of effery going on, and it blew YouTube away. It blew the people that watch YouTube, the content creators. They didn't think that all these people would be coming out of the woodwork into YouTube land to try to sway YouTubers. Like who would freaking care? We're just a bunch of armchair detectives sitting around chatting about these things. Um, let's see. My passion is justice for victims. We don't all get it, but Red Rum need it most, in my opinion. Same with Morphew Case. Thank you. Yeah, Suzanne Morphew Case was probably what got me really sucked into this whole true crime thing. And then I got into the Watts case later, kind of after the fact, and that one really sucked me in too. Because I don't think that justice was had with the Watts case. But yeah, passion for justice for sure. And fighting for justice is fun. I like to tell people that it is fun. Um, it feels good. I mean, for me, it feels like I'm doing the right thing, and that makes it fun. Um, it is a passion. It is, I think, just very like ingrained into who I am from my earliest childhood memories. I always wanted to help people feel better. I've always like rooted for the underdog. Um, so All right, you guys, I'm going to hang it up. I'm going to say peace out, sending you light and love. Have a really good Friday night. I hope you can wake up early in the morning and get a lot done, whether it's working or playing. It's a Saturday. So, doing whatever it is that inspires you. Inspiration is so important, and just following the beat of your own drum. So, on that, peace out. Have a great night. Sending you light, sending you love. See you over the weekend. Thanks again for joining me. Take care. And hit that end button. I always forget there's two buttons you have to push on the live. There you go.